Hello and welcome to this video. I am Karunesh Johri and this video is about the top command in Linux. The top command is for monitoring processes in a Linux system. Let's look at the details of the output produced by the top command. You can run the top command by simply typing top in a terminal window and you get output like this. Now most commands in Linux, once started, do their job and finish, and you see the command prompt. Top is different because it keeps on running and the output on the terminal window is refreshed periodically unless you end the command by entering Q for quit. In fact, there are two subcommands that are quite important when you are running top, and these are lowercase h for help and lowercase q for quit. Now this top command output has four areas, that is the summary area, message prompt line, columns header and the task area. The summary area gives the overall system status. First it gives the command name, that is top, and then the current system time, followed by the system uptime, number of current users and the load average for last 1 minute, 5 minutes and 15 minutes respectively. Load number is the number of runnable processes in the system. Load average is the exponential moving average of the load number. If load average is more than the number of CPUs in the system, it means that some runnable processes are not able to run because of the lack of CPUs. So ideally, the load average should be less than or equal to the number of CPUs in the system. And then we have the number of processes in the system and the status of these processes. Next, we have the CPU utilization during the time interval since last refresh, and what we have here is that 1.5% of the CPU time has been spent in executing user processes that are not niced. 0.7% time has been spent in running the kernel and system processes. 0% time has been spent on user processes that have been niced. 97.8% time CPU is idle and 0% time CPU is waiting for I/O to complete. 0% time spent in servicing hardware interrupts and 0% time is spent in servicing software interrupts, and also 0% time has been stolen from the virtual machine by the hypervisor for other tasks. In the next two lines, we have the memory usage of the system. First, we have the main memory information. In this case, total memory available is 5822.1 megabytes, of which 2977.8 megabytes is used, 1061.2 megabytes is free, and 1783.1 megabytes is allocated for buffer and cache. Next, we have the swap statistic. A total of 2048 megabytes available, 427 megabytes is used and rest is free. Total main memory available in the system is 2483 megabytes, which is available for starting new processes without forcing the system to use swap. Now there is the message prompt line, which is a single line under the summary area. If you type a subcommand and there is an error, the error message is displayed here. The next line is the column header line, displaying header for each column of output. Below the column header line, we have the task area, where information about processes is displayed, one line per process. The information displayed for each process is the process ID, effective user ID, priority, nice value, total amount of virtual memory width, res, which is the resident size, the non-swapped physical memory used, shared memory, status. Status is R for running, S sleeping, I idle, D uninterruptible sleep, uppercase T stopped by job control signal, lowercase t stopped by debugger during trace, and Z zombie. % CPU which is the percentage of CPU time used since the last refresh. %mem, memory used as a percentage of total memory. Time plus is the CPU time used since the start of the command with a granularity of 100th of a second, and the command name. Now the command line options for top. -h or -v prints the program version, usage prompt, and top quits. With -b option, top works in the batch mode. No subcommands are accepted. This is suitable for using top in scripts. -n followed by a number makes top run that many iterations and quit. So -n works great with -b option, work in batch mode and run that many iterations and quit. -d followed by time in seconds and tenths of a second. Configure the delay between screen updates. -h shows threads. By default, processes are shown. With -h, threads are shown and lightweight process IDs are displayed under process ID. -i option suppresses the display of idle processes. -u followed by name reports processes with this effective user ID or username. -U reports processes with a given real, effective, saved or file system user ID or username. With -p followed by a list of process IDs, you can monitor processes in that list. -s works in the secure mode. We'll look at the secure mode in a moment. And with -S, display cumulative CPU time for each process and its children which have died and have been waited for by it. If you look at the default top output, there is two kinds of data. One, there is a summary data at the top which gives the system overview. Then there is the individual detailed data, one line per process in the task area. Now the data has many attributes and we like to see it in different ways, say sorted by decreasing CPU usage or memory usage, etc. So here we have the concept of field groups and windows. A field group is a collection of fields or process attributes. A field group is displayed in a window. In the default display, there is only one window displayed below the summary area. There is an alternative display mode. We can go to the alternate display mode with uppercase A command. In the alternate display mode, up to 4 windows can be displayed below the summary area. These 4 windows can display 4 field groups. The first field group is named def. It is sorted by %CPU. The second field group is named job, sorted by process ID. The third field group is mem, sorted by %mem. And the fourth field group is USR. It is sorted by the user field. Now let's look at top subcommands which you can give when top is running, and these commands relate to overall top functionality. By pressing the enter key or space bar, you can refresh the display. Lowercase h displays the help screen and the second h displays the alternate display mode help. Equal to clears the restrictions in the task area. Suppose you want to reset the effect of I, N or P commands, you can use equal to for that. Uppercase A toggles between the alternate display mode and the default display. Uppercase B is the toggle for display of main entries in bold. By default, the main entries are in bold and you can switch off the bold or switch it back if it were not already displaying in bold. D and S changes the delay interval timing in seconds. When you enter D or S, you are prompted to enter number of seconds in the message area, and that becomes the time interval between refresh of top output. By default, the delay interval is 3 seconds. If you want to find the current value of the delay interval, just enter lowercase h for help. In the help screen, the current value of delay interval is given on the second line. Lowercase g command is to go to another window or field group. In the alternate display, there can be a maximum of 4 windows. The summary area refers to one of these windows. To go to another window, enter lowercase g. The system prompts for the field group or the window number. Enter the appropriate number between 1 and 4. The summary area then refers to that window. Uppercase I is for toggle between ERIX mode and Solaris mode. In the ERIX mode, the CPU usage is divided by the total number of CPUs in the system. Lowercase u selects an effective user ID or username, and only processes belonging to that user would be displayed. Uppercase U selects a real, effective, saved file system, user ID or username. Only processes belonging to that user are displayed. K is to kill a task, Q is for quit, R is for renice of a task. Uppercase W is write user's configuration in $home/.toprc file. All the toggles and options are saved, and next time top uses these values for display. Uppercase Z change text color in the 4 areas. In secure mode, 3 top commands are not allowed. These are K to kill a task, R to renice a task, D or S to change the delay or sleep interval. By default, secure mode is not in operation. To enforce system-wide operation of secure mode, add a line with single character S in file /etc/toprc. These commands help in configuring the display of summary area. L toggles the display of the first line of the summary area containing the system uptime and the load average. M toggles the display of memory and swap area lines. T toggles the display of tasks and CPU line in the summary area. And 1. If tasks and CPU lines are displayed, 1 toggles the display of individual CPU information, and you get something like this. Now let's look at the commands we can give to configure the output in the task area. B is for bold reverse video toggle. For bold to work, global bold should be enabled using uppercase B command. X command highlights the current sort field column. Y command highlights the running process or thread. Z is the color monochrome toggle. C is for command name, command line toggle. By default, command name is displayed, and you can change it to command line by pressing C and vice versa. F is for field select. When you press F, you are presented with a list of fields. You can move a field up and down by first selecting it with right arrow and then use up and down arrow. You can commit its position with left arrow or enter. You can toggle the display of a field with D or space key and leave the field selection screen with escape or Q for quit. Uppercase H is the threads toggle. By default, processes are shown in the task area. You can press H and see threads, and if you press H again, you can get back to display of processes. Uppercase S is the toggle for cumulative time. When on, each process lists cumulative time it and its dead children have used. When off, the time used by the children is not shown. With the N command, you can restrict the number of tasks shown. Normally, number of tasks are shown such that the screen is filled. Uppercase F, you can change the sort column with uppercase F. With uppercase R, you can change the order of sort. By default, the sorting is in decreasing order, and with uppercase R, you can toggle it to increasing order and vice versa. And we come to the end of this video. You can find all this information at https://bit.ly/top-command. Please share this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and stay safe.